Today we're going to be cleaning the mirrors and the focus lens on the Reno 65 Pro by Monport. Hi everyone, welcome to the Laser channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg and let's get this video kicked off by covering the materials that I'll be using. The first item is one of these squeeze bulbs for cleaning a photo lens. A little squeeze on here and I get a clean puff of air. There's going to be several options for cleaning solutions. The first one is 100% acetone. Another cleaning solution is 100% rubbing alcohol. I don't have any on hand, but rubbing alcohol and acetone can be easily found at your local drugstore. And lastly, I end up using 100% denatured alcohol. This seems to work really well and I've got a ton of it around the shop. When applying the cleaning solutions, I have one of these disposable eyedroppers. When it comes to wiping or mechanically cleaning the mirrors or the lenses, I have one of these nice foam swabs. When it's time to wipe away the cleaning solution, my go-to item is lens tissue paper. This won't leave any lint behind and it will not scratch the mirrors or the focusing lens. Microfiber cloths are also a good substitute for the lens tissue paper. And lastly, anytime I'm directly handling the mirrors or the focusing lens, a nice pair of blue protective gloves. Access to mirror number 3 and the focusing lens is pretty straightforward. We just flip open the lid and they're right here. For mirror number 2 and mirror number 1, I'll remove the side top panel. When I clean my components, I have a 3-stage process. Each step gets progressively more aggressive than the previous one. In stage 1, I use the air bulb that we took a look at earlier. This is great for getting loose hairs or debris off of the mirrors. I avoid blowing on the mirrors or the focusing lens. That typically releases a little bit of spittle and actually gets the mirrors and the focusing lens dirtier than they were before. Stage 2 gets a little bit more aggressive. I'll take one of the disposable eyedroppers and I'll apply my cleaning solution of choice down to the foam tip, and I'll use this to clean the mirror while it's still in place. Right now we're looking at mirror number 2, and just off to the side of the screen is mirror number 3, and mirror number 1, of course, is the first mirror outside of the laser tube. When I'm done cleaning the mirror with the solution, I'll go back over it with a clean, dry foam cleaner and make sure that the mirror is completely dry and free of streaks. Very important that the mirror has no streaks on it. So far, method 1 and 2, it's very basic, rudimentary, it's fast, and most of all, it doesn't require the mirrors and focusing lens to be realigned. Now in this next method, I'm going to be completely removing mirror number 2, mirror number 3, and the focusing lens. And of course, when I'm done cleaning all of those components, I will have to go through a full mirror and focusing lens alignment. We're going to be checking that out in a separate video. I'm going to be removing mirror assembly number 2. Just know that mirror assembly number 1 back here in the corner of the machine is identical. Off camera, I took a look at the mirror assembly, and the Reno series has this block. It's really nicely machined. However, it's different than most of the mirror holders I see on the market. Most of the other ones, you can completely access the mirror from the back side. This one, it looks like it's from the front side of the assembly. So I think the easiest way to gain access to that is to actually completely remove this entire assembly by removing this screw right here and the one below it right there. We're going to be doing a little on-the-job training to see if this makes any sense, and to make sure that this goes back at the correct height, because these screws, of course, are slotted. I'm going to take a razor blade and just mark the back of this bracket, just enough to see a mark, so I can get this bracket or the mirror holder placed back at the correct height. Well, that removed pretty quickly. We'll go over to the workbench and get a closer look. I have to say, this is one of the nicer looking mirror assemblies I've seen on a laser machine. In just a minute, I'm going to be handling the lens itself, so I've got my blue gloves on, and now we can see we've got a straight shot at these 4 screws holding the lens in the holder. Here's the empty holder, and I'm just kind of geeking out on how nicely made this component is. Here's the mirror. I think I'll catch a gleam of the ceiling light, and we'll see that when I go across, I've got some maybe dust particles on there, but I don't have any etching, scoring, or cracking. So this is a mirror that I can definitely clean and put back in the machine. If it's cracked, if there's a black dot from some laser etching, this would have to get removed. And check out the back side. We'll see that it just looks like it's a matte metal finish. Since we're here, I'll take a measurement off the diameter just in case you have to replace yours, and this is going to be 25 millimeters exactly. And in freedom units, that's what I call the imperial system, we are going to be a little bit under 1 inch. So if you buy a 1-inch mirror for this holder, it will not fit. It does have to be 25 millimeters. From here, I'm just going to take some of this denatured alcohol, get some in my disposable eyedropper, and I can either apply it to the foam Q-tip or directly onto the lens. I usually like to start out with both. I don't want to dry rub a dirty lens. That's going to lead to maybe scratches on it. And now very gently at first, in a nice circular motion, starting in the center, moving out. I'm going to flip this over. If I've got an especially dirty mirror, what I would do is I would rotate the foam brush as I go through, kind of like it's swiping, like that. Once I use one side up, I would go and do the other side, and then this foam brush would be done. I'd have to go and grab another one. I don't want to take a dirty brush and keep rubbing it on the lens or the mirror here. These things absolutely have to be perfectly clean. And now when I take a look at this one, it looks absolutely perfect. There's no streaking, no marks on it, and this one can actually go in. There's no need for me to take any of the lens cleaning paper to go back over and remove any of the streaking that may have been on the mirror. This looks really good, but let's pretend that this was really dirty and I'm still trying to save it, and with this foam brush, it's just not really getting it clean. I can take a small sealed container and put a whole bunch of my cleaning solution in there, drop the mirror in there, seal it up, and just let it sit overnight. The next day, I'll take a clean foam brush that has that same cleaning solution on it, and once again, just gently rubbing over the top. Once I use the brush up, I'll dispose of it and grab another one and continue on. Everything checks out and the mirror is ready to be reinstalled. It's the same steps as before, just in reverse. And thanks to the mark that I left on the back side here, I've got it exactly in the same spot as I did before. I'll snug these up and we'll be ready to move on. Mirror number 3 is the easiest. The whole assembly stays on the machine. I just take a large flat screwdriver and unscrew this back cover piece. The easiest way to get that mirror out now is to take some masking tape, either some white stuff or I have some blue painter's tape. I roll it up so that the sticky side is on the outside, and now I can just simply stick that to the back side of the mirror, give it a little bit of a wiggle, and the mirror pops right out. Once again, before I bother cleaning this mirror, I'm going to inspect it for any cracks or laser etching. This looks clean. Looks like I do have a couple spots of dust down there, but that's why we're cleaning it. Mirror number 3 is smaller than mirror number 1 and mirror number 2. A quick measurement reveals that it is going to be 20 millimeters exactly. This is absolutely perfect. These mirrors have to be the most mirrored mirrors you've ever seen, perfectly reflective. Same as before, I can take a look at the back of the mirror, put my sticky tape on it, and use that to help guide it down. That was quick and easy. Let's move on to the focusing lens. Finally, we're on to the focusing lens. The suspense is building. And by the way, all of the wrenches I've been using in the video today, they're all metric, and in fact, the Reno machine does include the metric wrench set that fits all of the screws that I've been working with. What we're going to be doing is loosening the 2 screws that are inside of this large block. Before that, though, I want to remove the air assist air line. For that, I'm going to support the bottom of the air fitting And with my two other fingers, I'm going to press down on this blue ring. And then that releases the air line. There's an electrical connector that can stay connected or it can be disconnected and you can remove the rest of the spiral wrap. I prefer to leave that all together. I'll loosen up the two screws inside of the main block. When I get to the second one, I'm going to support the bottom one so it doesn't drop completely out right away. And here's the entire air assist assembly. The focus lens is located right down there. We'll just unscrew this by hand. It should only ever be finger tight. And we'll see once again, I've got the blue gloves on because I'm going to just kind of dump that lens right out. And of course, we know by now we're going to do a quick inspection on this right away to see if we should even bother cleaning it. This one's free of cracks and any laser etching, so we'll go back over to the work table and get this cleaned up. We're going to see on the work table, I do have the microcloth down because I do want to protect both sides of this lens. When we had the mirrors before, the bottom side didn't matter at all, but with the focus lens, of course, we want to keep everything clean. This, I like to get the top surface saturated once again, and then actually just grab it out by the outside edges and then get the backside saturated. And with these lenses being so small, I don't usually use a brush. In this case, I want to just to kind of demonstrate for you. And I'm going to saturate some of the cleaning solution on the microcloth, and then I'm going to clean both sides at the same time. And this side looks good. And I flip it over and I check out the other side. That looks perfect as well. Same as before, I'll take a measurement of this lens just in case you need to replace yours or you want to order a spare. This is going to be a 12mm diameter and the focal length is 50mm. It's time to put all of this back together, and the golden question, how to ensure that the lens is inserted properly into the holder without it magically flipping as it goes back inside, because it happens a lot more than you would think. I like to take the cap that goes on the top right here, and I'm going to place that on top of the domed side of the lens, and then I'm going to flip the assembly over and insert everything in. Hopefully we get a good view. And that is how I ensure that the lens doesn't flip as it's going into the air assist assembly. This silver cap, by the way, only needs to be finger tight. I know a lot of you guys are going to want to grab some type of a channel locks or a pair of pliers and really tighten that down. Doesn't need to be super, super tight, just needs to be hand tight. And this can now be reinserted up inside of the assembly, orientated the right way. You can take the wrench that's included with the machine and snug the two fasteners up in there. Once again, these don't have to be overly tight. It snugs up and I give it just a little bit more turn on the wrench. Airline's all reconnected and everything is nice and clean. All of the mirrors and the focusing lens are clean on the Reno 65 Pro. Off camera, I did go back and I did mirror assembly number 1, which is way back in that corner. When I had that removed, I also cleaned one of the most important lenses on the machine as well. Right next to the focusing lens is the lens on the end of the laser tube. I used that same foam brush with my cleaning solution, also making sure that I didn't leave any streak marks behind on that laser tube lens. That is so important because that lens has to stay clean and it is not replaceable. It is permanently attached to the laser tube. So if something happens to the laser tube lens, it's the whole laser tube that needs to be replaced. If you have any questions on something that you saw in this video today, leave a comment down below. I do actually read a lot of the comments on the videos that I make. I am going to end the video with answering a couple questions that I typically see with what we saw today in the video, starting out with the most popular question, and that is, how often should I clean the mirrors and the focusing lens on my machine? And that's a very good question because it depends on how often you use your machine, what types of materials you're engraving or cutting, and most of all, how good is the exhaust system. If you're using the stock exhaust system on the machine, you'll probably want to clean it more often, say about once or twice a week if you're using the machine quite often. For me, I go a little bit longer because I have an auxiliary exhaust fan hooked up to my machine because my exhaust port is about 20 feet that way, and that's too long of a run for the stock exhaust fan on the machine. So if I get a lot of exhaust flow going through the machine, bringing that fresh air in, that's less time for the smoke residue to hang around the mirrors and the focusing lens, getting them dirty. The other thing that greatly impacts how often the machine has to be cleaned is the environment that it's in. Right now I'm in a recording studio and it's very clean all of the time. I have seen laser machines that are in a metal machine shop and there's a lot of grinding dust, or maybe they're in a woodworking shop and there's a lot of sawdust and everything within the area, and those are definitely bad environments to have any type of laser machine to be in. They want to be in a clean environment, and remember, we're pulling a vacuum, an exhaust vacuum through the machine, so any contaminants that are in the air are going to get sucked inside of the machine and eventually get on the mirrors and the focusing lens. Thanks for joining me in this video. It was great to have all of you along, and join me in the next video where I'll be doing a full mirror alignment on the Reno 65 Pro. If you enjoyed this video, show it some love by giving it a like or subscribing to the channel. Not only is it a great way to help it grow, it's an awesome way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like yourselves. And until we meet again in the next video, I'm Greg from the Laser Channel, where we learn, create, and share.